Are you leaning into what it is you want out of life? What's going on, guys? Dr. Sean here, author of Discover Choice. I wanted to talk to you about leaning in today. Leaning in on what it is you want out of life. Now, back when I was a freshman in college, so I'm 18 years old, just walking across the college yard at Florida A&M University as a chemistry major, there I was wearing some jeans and a t-shirt, and I had a backpack on, and I heard about some representatives from Upjohn Pharmaceutical coming, and they were basically there looking for people that may be interested in internships. So I went over there and I thought, I'll check it out. I have some time between classes, and I listened to their presentation, and it was a nice presentation, after which they asked if anybody had any questions. And I raised my hand and said that I was here about 3 months ago when somebody, I think it was from your company, came, and it was a similar presentation, and he was asking if anybody was interested. I put my name on a list, and I never heard anything. They asked me to hang around to the end, and I went and talked to them. They got my information, and don't you know, over the next couple of weeks, I was invited to become an intern at Upjohn Pharmaceutical Company in Kalamazoo, Michigan, in the summer of 1987. So this was in the neuroscience department, and I would be researching drugs that have everything to do with people that are having strokes, specifically how to deal with, on a microscopic level, free radical scavengers. Basically, that's what I do right now. I mean, I treat people on a very regular basis who have had strokes, like every day. Like that's the huge bulk of my job as a neurologist. And so now that was spring 1987, summer 1987. Can you imagine? Just because I leaned in that day. Now, there's something magical about leaning in, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. I had no idea that I was leaning in at that time because I was just like 18, all right? But you hear me talk about the 4 phases of getting what you want, basically the 4 phases of discovering and developing our power of choice. And the first one is choosing what it is we want. The second is aligning and allowing. That's what I'm talking about, that aligning and allowing part. We tend to doubt ourselves, and that doubt is sometimes quiet. Like we might tell ourselves, hey, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And we do that before we get a chance to even express our interest significantly. But when we lean in, well, then we don't give a chance to doubt. It's not like we're putting our whole heart in, but we are expressing interest. It's just the right amount of interest, and there's no doubt there. So we don't get a chance to get in our own way. That's why leaning in is a wonderful posture to go through the phase 2. And then, of course, there's receiving and then trusting the process. But that leaning in is really what I wanted to talk to you about today. And what reminded me about this is because it's time for me to lean in again, me personally. But I think that's a great posture for us to live with. But I have a situation coming up when I know that leaning in is going to help me. Now I know what I'm doing, and it's not going to be a mistake. And so I wanted to talk to you and recommend this approach. You've probably done this before. You've probably done it multiple times when you wanted something to happen so badly, perhaps, and then you maybe you walked away, and then it just seemed to happen. It's because you were leaned in, but you were not pushing. Sometimes we are pushing, and then what we get is push back. But when we just lean sometimes, then the door opens. Lean in to keep winning. Take care, guys.